as the day unfolds with laughter and cheer. Brad's got the magic that brings us all near. Sharing tales of hope, dreams that shine bright. Good morning, Marianas, together we ignite. So join the palm trees, we dance through the days. Rhythm and soul, so many ways. Together we rise through the moments we share. Good morning, Marianas, feel the love everywhere. Wake up to the sunshine in the morning light. Good vibes all around, everything feels right. Brad on the show, bringing joy to our day. Into the Marianas breeze, let the worries drift away. Yeah, that was the air. Connection grows stronger. We show that we care. Rock songs feel the soulful flow. Good vibe in Mariana, that's where you belong. The sweet island breeze and the ocean's embrace. Brad's got the stories, sunlight behave. Southside meditated, fall in this ride. Yeah, we're shining with love as our guide. So raise your voices high, let the music play on. Good morning, Marianas, we're where you belong.
Good morning, Marianas. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. It is 7:36. It is hump day. It is September 10th, and we are just getting started. Thanks for tuning in and joining us this morning. The biggest morning show in the Marianas. It's happening right here. It's happening right now. Where else would you rather be than right here, right now? And are you interested in what's going on in the world? You're in the right spot. All right, so normally we're going to get you started off with all kinds of other stuff, but why would we start anywhere else than the man, the myth, the legend himself, Landon Aylett, our meteorologist from, hey, where is it? Our meteorologist from the National Weather Service. We are getting him on here with us right now. I'm actually trying to call him, and for some reason, it's not going through. One sec. All right, well, let's see what's shaking. What on earth is happening? We've got everything else to do. Why is this call not going through? Here, try. Not sure what's going on. Everything is a little creepy, a little slow this morning, but hey, we're going to get it started. Hey, good morning, Tobak. Great to see you today. Man, that's awesome out there helping his apprentice. This is good stuff, man, but we have a lot of stuff to get to today. We're going to be talking about what's happening with one of our schools here. Let's see if this will work, if I can answer it here. And is it possible? Here we go. We're opening it. Let's see. It should work here. It looks like it's opening.
Got it.
Can you hear me?
I hear you loud and clear.
I can hear you, but there you go. Now you're coming full screen there. That looks a lot better. I don't know what's going on in the world today, but I know that it's better when Landon Aylett's in the house talking about all things awesome.
It's a lot of world and a lot of things going on in it.
True story. Hey, well, it's good to see you again. You got the rocking the toucan shirt going on today, and well, two can play at that game. I'm going to have to up my bird shirt game and
I
bring
need to get some new ones. Something colorful and more bright. So we'll see where I can get one of those around here someday.
That's awesome. Well, I see you've got your Christmas lights are up already. It looks like you might even have a new plant by your window.
Well, I got 2 trees up. You know, it's like September's preparedness month, and with natural disasters and typhoons, they start as rumors and threats and speculation, and then before you know it, you have a full-blown emergency. And so, yeah, I had 1 tree last week. I have 2 trees this weekend. Who knows what's going to happen in the coming weeks? This is my tree. This is somebody gave this to me when I was first selected to be the warning coordination meteorologist 5 years ago. And it was in a little pot. It has since blossomed pretty huge. So I think I need to get a bigger pot for it one of these days.
I think
And
all you
see
have
where
to
else it
do
can
is introduce
grow.
it to your backyard, and it's going to take off on its own.
Yeah, probably will. So maybe one of these days, if I get my boss's job next year, we'll see, and I'll plant it in the yard and let it go.
Oh, listen to this. That is some Game of Thrones level stuff. Let's see if I get my boss's job next year. Sorry, current boss. I'm already scheming for
We
your
will
job.
see. We will see. She's in the Philippines right now on leave, but she was set to retire and she's set to retire, I think, in January. So we'll see how that goes. There's going to be a lot of changes in the weather service, but the operations, the weather, and support to the community will continue as is. So we'll see.
I love it. All right. Well, speaking of loving it, I've been loving the weather that we got. We had a little sprinkle going on this morning, but it was a beautiful day yesterday, and today looks like it's going to be a nice one too.
Yeah, that's going to be the theme of the day. There's no significant weather features at the surface, and it's actually pretty quiet. Other than that trough way up north, that's been a semi-permanent fixture for the last several weeks across our region to the north. That's still up there. It's meandering up along 15 to 20 degrees north latitude. That is influencing weather across the CNMI, but with the absence of any surface features, the showers and thunderstorms would be few and far between. And so that's the theme for the rest of the week, at least until early in the weekend. Most of the tropical moisture that's going to stay along 10 degrees north and southward, well south of Guam, through the remainder of the week and into the weekend. So that's the good news is for the wet season, it doesn't get more stable than this. Isolated showers and thunderstorms every day for the next 4 to 6 days. We are watching some of that action down in Micronesia. There's a surface trough over here. We just got a report of a wind gust in Utrecht at one of our observation stations there in the northern Marshall Islands, 39-mile-per-hour wind gusts, and that's with the surface trough over here. Some strong gusty winds across the Marshalls. This is all going to be moving westward through the next week or so, and it could eventually reach our area sometime early to mid next week. So we'll have to see how that evolves. If you're watching any of the weather apps, you might see some speculation in those apps. So take it with a grain of salt. If anything does develop out of it, we'll be talking more effectively across it more frequently of any emerging threats. But otherwise, all the tropical moisture will keep to the south, moving generally westward. We have another area of circulation near Walleye yesterday that is going toward Yap and Palau, and that's going to also keep to our south. So nothing much to speak of. Looking at the radar, very quiet this morning, just some spotty showers out there, and we saw some of those sprinkles across Tinian to Saipan. Some areas might have seen moderate to briefly heavy showers, but looking at the satellite, not much going on across the region. Very quiet, beautiful morning to go out to the beach if you're not working today like I am. But just north of Saipan, there are a line of showers and probably some thunderstorms that'll be putting off some lightning strikes and maybe some rumbles of thunder if you're in northern Saipan. So keep an eye to the sky today, especially with those tut cells. Those thunderstorms can come up quickly and then move right offshore with the trade winds that we have. Again, not much change for the week ahead. Beautiful out there across the region. And September is Preparedness Month. If you will be on Guam, we are partnering with the Guam Homeland Security and the Tower for Humanity to co-host a National Preparedness Outreach Fair at the Agana Shopping Center. That's going to be on Saturday, September 27th at the Agana Shopping Center from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. That's going to be in a partnership with the Tower for Humanity project as it's going underway starting on September 24th.
Man, and that's going to be a big deal, not just because of that, but the exciting part for me is watching a whole bunch of little logs turn into something massive. And this is going to be, I'd say it's a one of a kind, but it's definitely a brand new look of what you guys are going to be doing this year. Aside from that model that you showed us in the building, and aside from the actual building itself, has anyone attempted anything like this?
I don't think so, not to the degree that we've done it. There have been several previous world records that were held by different people around the United States and Canada. that had the largest structure in Utah, also in Lincoln, Nebraska. They were record holders in 2012. But then the guy who had the record for the tallest, set in 2018, we smashed his record. And it was just a very small building, about that big around, for 18 feet tall. Ours are significantly larger, significantly more mass, more dense with blocks than any of the records prior to ours. And so nobody has come close to our projects, and I'm speculating somebody out there is trying to outdo us. I think it's with that rule of thumb is no matter how good you are at something, there's somebody somewhere better than you at doing it. And so that's the nature of competition, no matter what you're doing with your talents and skills and capabilities.
Are you sure that's not a veiled message to your boss? I think I'm sensing a trend here.
We will see. Administrative duties and functions and budget, that bores me to heck. And so she does a lot of that stuff for the office. So I'm trying to take in some of those duties while she's off island with a lot of travel documentation and administrative duties. And I hate it. I'd much rather be talking weather to the community. But it's a change. And as people go through their career, you'll learn new skills and capabilities and have new tasks and assignments, and we all evolve over time.
Well, if you do end up running the show over there, I think the first thing you need to do is get some really good reception for your telecommunications over there in that corner of Guam.
I'm not a miracle worker.
All right, we can stick to the weather, but let's. It looks like we're going to be having some good weather for the next few days. Pay attention to those storms that are north of us, just in case lightning strikes and stuff like that. So if you're going to be a fisherman, you're heading out on your boat. Be careful while you're out there. You don't want to be caught in the middle of that stuff.
Yeah, winds and seas are going to be fair and favorable for water activities. So if you're out there in a boat, always take a locator beacon, a GPS device, something to signal for help in case something happens. But always keep a side eye to the weather, because no matter how good the weather is or the conditions are, things can and do happen. So beautiful next several days ahead. Isolated thunderstorms, and with that touch cell, some of those thunderstorms can put out a bit of lightning. So when thunder roars, get indoors, plan accordingly, but have fun, stay safe, and enjoy the next several days. I mean, it really does not get better than this in the heart of wet season and peak typhoon season in this region.
Yeah, and the other thing you were talking about was being careful when there's lightning out there. You want to get out of the water right away. It's one of the things that you learn when you're a lifeguard too. Get out right away. If you can see it, get out, get everybody out. You got to wait for a while until it happens again.
Correct.
But question for you, I'm not sure if you have this answer, but with regards to like lightning strikes on the water, how close does it actually really do that kind of a damage when it hits the water?
Yeah, that's a good question, because lightning can travel very well through water, and it disperses through the water around it. It doesn't have to strike you directly, but how far is it to be dangerous? I don't have an answer on that. And so I know lightning travels rapidly and quickly through water, but as far as how far you have to be from it to be safe, that's a really good question. I don't have an answer, but if you can hear the thunder and you see the lightning streaks,
you don't want to be in there. Yeah.
Just play it safe.
Man, I'm telling you, it was a couple of weeks ago, maybe about a month ago now. Time flies by so fast. We were at our favorite beach spot at one night. We could see the clouds off in the distance. Come on in. Hey, good morning. You could see the clouds off in the distance, and you could see the little flashings within the clouds and all that stuff. It wasn't close, but it was definitely closer than 500 miles away, as we learned about the link, that record-holding lightning strike. But as we were watching that, and the storm was coming our way, I saw the widest, most direct bolt of lightning go straight down into the water. I'm like, holy catfish. I mean, I can't imagine what that would have been if it was closer.
And that can and does happen. And the rule of thumb is if your hair stands up on end, like your hair, your arm hair, your leg hair, your head hair, if you have it, I've always read about it in textbooks of people hiking in the Rocky Mountains and stuff, and all of a sudden the hair standing straight out, and somebody gets struck by lightning. Always read about it, but never actually experienced it until August 2021. I was at the Horseshoe Bend in the Grand Canyon area in Arizona, and I was waiting for some friends to come and meet up with. And I'm walking, looking at the sights. I had my hands in my pockets, and all of a sudden, it felt like there were fire ants crawling on my hands and arms in my pocket. I'm like, "What the heck is going on?" And I pulled my hands out, thinking there was going to be ants all over it, but the hairs were standing straight up, and I got the most sickening feeling in my stomach because I knew what was happening. And there were thunderstorms off in the distance and some clouds developing overhead. I knew exactly what it meant, and I was in full-blown panic mode because if you're at the Horseshoe Bend and you're familiar with it, the closest safe area will be the parking lot where you're parked, and that's up over the ridge, about a 20-minute hike over the ridge, higher up, with no cover, no shelter. There was like a cover for rain, but it's wide open and it's all metal. So it's the worst place to be. I found some large pile of boulders nearby, and I bolted toward the pile of boulders and crawled as deep inside the boulders as I could. Eventually, the feeling, the sensation went away, but I could see people taking pictures and just having a blast because all their hair was straight out, but they didn't realize the danger. And so I fully expected somebody to get struck by lightning that day. Luckily, it did not happen. It's a miracle, quite frankly, that nobody got struck because when you're in a supercharged atmosphere, the best thing you can do is run away, not crouch down on your hands and knees as low to the ground as you can. That's old information, but they've put out new information. Stay aware and prevent your likelihood of being in a position like that. But if you get in a supercharged atmosphere, your best bet is to run away from that spot because it's really about 100 feet in diameter of that supercharged area. And so I think I did the best thing in that situation.
Well, I like that you used the term bolted. I thought that was like the perfect one for that.
I didn't even catch that.
I have been sitting on waiting on this one until you were done with
your... It struck me with awe.
Awesome, just great. This is the your home for puns here and the Good Morning Marianas. Yes.
Oh yeah.
Hey, so let's get past that a little bit and go into what you got coming up with the big build for Tower for Humanity, your big charitable arm and your next big attempt over there at the Gagnon Shopping Center.
So we are still soliciting teams to be part of the construction competitions. I've got the updated list here. Construction teams, we've had an outpouring of support from the schools. We have Tamuning Elementary School. They are forming a construction competition team. Atacao Elementary School, Ukadu High School, Estumbo Middle School, Jose Rios Middle School, Teton High School, Laddystone Lions Club, Guam High School, Costules. They have been a powerhouse for several years now. They've been with us since the very beginning and strong supporters of the Be Heartfelt mission. So I look forward to seeing what they contribute and what they can build this year. But Costules, they are here for the third return. And then the Girl Scout Troop 406. Those are our construction teams so far. I'm hoping to get 5 more teams. My goal for this year was 15 teams. We're sitting at 10 teams. But we also have some 19 additional food drop sites. Businesses and organizations across Guam that have joined the effort to be a food drop-off site, so people can come do business and drop off a couple cans for a good cause. I'm not going to read those there, but you can find that on the Tower for Humanity and also my personal Facebook page. I just put up some slides and some graphics this morning with all those drop sites.
Yeah.
But how we can expand this to Saipan, I definitely want to see how we can do this and get businesses and organizations on Saipan. But we are so excited because we're having so much success getting people to join this effort, and we're still looking for some big names. I'm hoping we can get several other organizations and large groups on Guam to join as a construction team. We're going to have a couple of new surprises, hopefully, that we can roll out next week with some developments with this whole project. But just the support from the community has been phenomenal, and now it's just getting the word out there and getting people involved because we have that goal of 25,000 cans of food to be collected. And so that's just a small fraction of what it really takes to provide 4 weekend meals for 350 plus kids on Guam, 15 kids on Saipan, and 15 kids in Palau. So just this small fraction is what we're looking for this week, but this is going to aid the sustainability of the Be Heartfelt mission throughout the year.
Well, that's outstanding. You know, it's great because you get so many people involved. You got all these different organizations who get involved, all the people behind those organizations and getting it done. And you're going to be feeding you're helping stabilize food for so many different kids at so many different schools, and you do it at the right level where it's not just like one of those, hey, I'm helping out at Thanksgiving, we'll see you next year. No, you guys do this kind of stuff all year round, and you only add the schools when you can sustain it throughout the year. It's just
that's absolutely it. And this really just kicks off the season of giving, because we're right now in mid-September. The construction will take place in October, and then we go right full-blown into the holidays. And so what better way to kick off the season of giving and thanks than with a healthy food drive? And so we're going to be putting out a press release either Monday or Tuesday. I'm working on some final details on some of our co-partnered events going on with this tower project. We'll have a full press release update next week, hopefully, and then roll out some more surprises and more community engagement, because, I'm like disasters. It's all about disaster preparedness, and I want full-blown chaos on October 3rd, 4th, and 5th at the Guidance Shopping Center. And it's a great chaos. It's a great chaos to have people everywhere in every direction building something new and unique with canned goods. And so my goal is to cover the entire first floor of the Guidance Shopping Center with construction teams and creation.
That's outstanding. I love it. We're going to be there. I can't wait to be there. We'll be doing the show.
I can't wait to have you there.
Man, it's going to be a lot of fun. And we learned a lot about what works and what doesn't as far as all of our stuff, and how to have the right stuff with us for all of this. So we're getting better at that. But my favorite part about it, well, not my favorite part, but one of the things I really like about it is getting to the shopping center before everybody else gets there. It is
it's so serene.
Yes.
It's peaceful.
And it builds up a little slowly, a little bit more, and then those echoes of our conversation goes away as the whole rest of the world crashes in. So it's fun. We get to enjoy all that stuff. We'll be there in the mornings, and then we'll pop on randomly throughout the day while we do the other stuff. And we'll take advantage of being in Guam, too, and try to get some other folks come in there for interviews, and then we'll try to go around and see some of the other stuff that's out there, too.
Yeah, and I think if you come late in that second week of the construction, you'll get the finale of the tower once we complete it, but also the canned food competition chaos. It's just going to be so much stuff to cover, so many people to interview and to talk with, and the charity, many of our volunteers. And so, if you come around October 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, we're going to have a lot of fun over there.
It'll be fantastic. We're looking out for it. We're looking forward to all that. Hey, Gloria Hunter sends her love from Saipan, and also her love for your shirt. She says that's a great one.
Bell's Outlet in Jacksonville, Florida.
That's great. All right. Well, hey, anything else before we head off?
I think that's it. It's going to be a morning full of meetings and planning out the rest of this tower project and soliciting organizations, but watching the weather, putting out more stuff for Preparedness Month. Ready.gov/September. If you don't have an emergency kit for any kind of disaster, this is the month to assess those needs and those possibilities and what you need to make sure you are prepared at home. The theme for Readiness Month or Preparedness Month is Preparedness Begins at Home. And so this has been a great theme, I think, for FEMA to choose. This is actually something I've been pushing all year, even before I knew it was their theme. Preparedness begins with you, and it begins at home. And so assess your capabilities, assess your needs and what you have. And if you don't have an emergency kit, visit ready.gov/September and find out more information on building a preparedness kit and also being ready for any kind of disaster or surprise that nature and otherwise might throw your way.
Awesome. Always great to see you. Always great to get good information. And, man, I can't wait. We're getting closer and closer. The countdown has begun.
Closer and closer.
I know.
Yes.
This is awesome. All right. Well, thanks so much again for taking the time to being with us. Landon is with us every week, even when he's not here. He's out there in the world doing other stuff. He finds a way to get on with us. And then when there's big things that are happening weather-wise in our neighborhood, he is on daily. day or multiple times per day, as we've experienced already. So thanks for being our MVP of weather.
Always a pleasure.
All right. Thanks, Landon. All right, guys. This morning, yeah, we will see you next week. We're going to be back with more from Good Morning Marianas in a little bit. We've got our guests are arriving in studio for our show today, and we're going to have them on in a little bit. We're going to get them all situated, and then we're going to get you the latest update from the Associated Press. And good news, AP's got sports again. Yes. So we're going to have all that and more right after this.
Hi, I'm Shauna Brenfleck, nurse practitioner and owner of Island Skin Solutions and Wellness Clinic. We are Saipan's only medical spa offering a wide range of services to meet your unique skincare goals. We offer exclusive medical grade skincare products that can only be purchased from a licensed medical professional. We also have the CNMI's only master esthetician who offers new patient consultations that include a mini facial tailored to your needs. Schedule your consultation today to get started on your skincare journey.
News, I'm Ben Thomas. Israel targeted Hamas's leadership with a strike in Qatar today. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu.
At noon today, I convened the heads of Israel's security organizations and authorized a surgical precision strike on the terrorist chiefs of Hamas. These are the same terrorist chiefs who planned, launched, and celebrated the horrific massacres of October 7th.
Hamas says its top leaders survived the strike, but 5 lower-level members were killed. At the White House, Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt.
Unilaterally bombing inside Qatar, a sovereign nation and close ally of the United States that is working very hard and bravely taking risks with us to broker peace, does not advance Israel or America's goals. However, eliminating Hamas, who have profited off the misery of those living in Gaza, is a worthy goal.
At the UN,
I condemn this flagrant violation of the sovereignty and territorial integrity of Qatar.
Secretary General Antonio Guterres.
All parties must work towards achieving a permanent ceasefire, not destroying it.
Meantime, Israel's military warned Gaza City residents to evacuate ahead of its plans to take control of what it says is Hamas's last remaining stronghold. Hundreds of thousands remain there under famine conditions. Responding to an emergency appeal from the Trump administration, Chief Justice John Roberts has left in place a freeze on nearly $5 billion in foreign aid. The order is temporary, though it suggests the justices will reverse a lower court ruling that withholding the funding was likely illegal. And the Supreme Court has granted an unusually quick hearing on whether President Trump has the power under federal law to impose his sweeping tariffs. The justices will hear arguments in November. Modest gains on Wall Street, but the three main indexes all closed at new highs. The S&P up 0.3%, the Dow and the Nasdaq 0.4%. This is AP News. A survey of Americans' views on the causes of poverty and homelessness. Jennifer King has the findings.
A majority of U.S. adults, about 6 in 10, think individual choices are a major driver of why people remain in poverty. About 43% favor the removal of homeless encampments in U.S. cities versus about 25% who are opposed. That's according to a new poll from the University of Chicago Harris School of Public Policy and the Associated Press Nork Center for Public Affairs Research. Fewer than half of Americans polled say unfair systems are a major factor contributing to poverty, and about 4 in 10 blame a lack of government support. 80% say that homelessness has increased, and they are right. According to federal data, homelessness went up by 18% last year. Just over half of those polled think the government spends too little on those in need. Professor Bruce Meyer at the University of Chicago says it seems like people are a little conflicted. I'm Jennifer King.
There's more news at apnews.com. I'm Ben Thomas. Thanks for listening.
If you see something, say something, and stay anonymous. Call Crime Stoppers at 234-7272 or submit a tip online at nmicrimestoppers.com. No names, no caller ID, no recordings, just your info. And if your tip leads to an arrest, you could earn up to $1,000 in cash. Your tips have helped take hundreds of criminals off the streets in the NMI. It works because of you. Crime Stoppers, we want your information, not your name. PHI is your local pharmacy serving customers in Cagman, Garapan, and Dandan since 1996. Shop PHI Pharmacy for all your prescriptions, and we even offer a large line of multivitamin supplements. Our Dandan location is open weekdays from 8 to 6 and 8 to 4 on weekends. Or visit our Garapan and Cagman locations weekdays from 8 to 6 and 8 to 1 on Saturdays. Check us out online at phipharmacy.com or follow us on Facebook. PHI is a locally owned independent community Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
Wake up, sunshine, it's a brand new day. Brad's got the stories that'll light your wake. Take a smile on his face, he's ready to share. Share. Good morning, Marianas. Feel the love in the air. Good morning, Marianas. Come join the fun. Together we'll shine like the morning sun. With the waves crashing in, hear the ocean's call.
All right, Marianas, welcome back. It is Wednesday, 8:08 in the a.m. We just fresh out of that update from the Associated Press and from the weather update from Landon Aidlet, our weatherman from the National Weather Service, letting us know everything that's going on. Currently 81 degrees outside. It's a beautiful day in Saipan, and we're looking for a really good one, as Landon was telling us about it. He said, hey, you guys are in good shape, but there are some storms up north that you might end up seeing. Don't worry about them too much unless you're in a boat and you see some lightning flashes. Then you don't want to be over there. Anyway, 81 degrees outside. Humidity is still pretty high at 94% up there at the Saipan International Airport. Looking at a high near 87 today. Winds out of the east, 13 to 18, but can be a little bit gusty. already recording some high ones out there. They're looking high around 23 miles per hour, so nothing too terrible, but not a bad idea to cut that grass. Maybe it's going to blow away on its own. You don't have to rake it up. Ooh, sorry, neighbors. I know, but it's one of those opportunities that you can try to take advantage of. And we are taking advantage of the awesome atmosphere that we have in the CNMI for education. And we've got some folks from one of our local schools here that we're really excited to have in studio with us from Isla Montessori. Look, there we go. You guys are officially on the program. Good morning.
Good morning, Saipan.
Oh my God, when you said you had a water bottle, I didn't think you brought a water buffalo with you. That is not a small water bottle. It's not in the camera shot because I don't think we could fit it in the shot.
Hydration is important, Brad.
I believe you. That's another lesson I'm going to learn from you guys today. So let's introduce you guys to everybody on the show. You tell us who you are and what you do and where you're from.
Good morning. We represent Isla Montessori School. My name is Tatiana Ilmova. I am head of school. And today with me is Diana Silveira. She's our program director and our lead teacher in Children's House.
Good morning.
All right. Well, it's so great to be here. If I knew that you were going to be wearing the same color, you're blending right into the curtains behind you. It's perfect. I'm going to have to get fancier colors over here. You guys are from Isla Montessori, and I love the Montessori system. Our kids grew up, they first had their first encounter with education through Montessori program, and I thought it was great. When I was learning about it, I'm like, oh man, I wish I would have been able to do that as a kid because it's so cool, the whole thing. And maybe you guys could tell us a little bit about the school, like how it got started, and then you could tell us a little bit about like what is Montessori.
Absolutely, you're absolutely right. I am as a master. I have a master's degree in psychology, and as soon as I learned about Montessori before I have kids, I thought this is absolutely the best system of education for any child. So all my 3 daughters went through and going through the Montessori education, and it's the best thing you can do for your child. Montessori she developed this philosophy more than 100 years ago. She was absolutely the genius, and she also was the most generous person, I think, because she never put a patent on her method. So she really gave the biggest gift to society, because the moment you enroll your child in Montessori, the moment you learn about how it works, you fall in love in that immediately, because you see that this is something when we not fitting child into the system, but rather system following this child every day and let them thrive, let them bloom, and let them develop in their own speed and their own capacity. So Montessori education really, we can say that it's individual education in a group. They not have an education one by one, but at the same time, teachers make sure that they have every single student in class have exactly what they need at this moment and go in the speed they are comfortable, and nobody rushed, and at the same time nobody holding back. If this child needs some more time to work on something, they have this time. If this child get this concept and ready to go, they have an opportunity to go forward and develop their knowledge in their own speed. How wonderful it sounds, right? Mm-hmm. So that's what make me fall in love in the system. Also, in Montessori education, the social emotional component weaved into education. And it's very unique too. It's something that you very rarely find when you're speaking about emotions with 3, 4, 5 years old. In Montessori education, it's everyday routine. They have a conflict, teacher will sit and solve this conflict with them and give them tools how to solve those conflicts in future. This is another amazing thing. And Montessori, it's like a mosaic from all these genius ideas she has for children. So that's why we are so passionate about Montessori. We opened this school. Miss Diana was co-founder And as same as myself in 2018, we felt that our island need Montessori education, but not just Montessori education. We really have an idea that we want to connect this education with island culture. As you can see, I'm not an islander. I came from Russia 16 years ago, and I fell in love in this island, and island welcomed our family so greatly. So me and my husband, we said, we want to serve this community, and this is what we do. And my husband is in a Rotary, very involved in Rotary Club. Myself, I serve in a board of directors for different nonprofit schools. And when we start to think, so it was group of passion parents and teachers who decided, let's open a school for island community where we will serve every student despite of their economic background. Yes, we're private school, but we're non-profit school, and we emphasize it in our mission and vision that we want to offer this education to every child on island. That's why our school is certified under CCDF and a child care development fund. So if family qualify to get their help, our door open for those families. So it's additional work, it's additional extra work that we putting on our shoulder for our kids on island. We also have tuition assistance program despite of this hard economic situation on island. Even this year we offer tuition assistance. So we're really working hard to offer this education to all students on island. And when we opened our school in 2018, Miss Diana was a teacher. We have several parents who was very passionate about that. And our school survived through a lot. After 2 months, after we opened school, so we work hard for 8 months, and we pull all our sources, and we made it happen. We opened in August 2018, and we were so happy, and we were so grateful and so ready to thrive. And then you two came.
You two hit.
Yes,
2 months after you opened.
Absolutely, and it's destroyed one of our classes, and it was the first obstacle on our way, and we thought, oh my goodness. But then we said, no, it's okay. We will rebuild. We will get stronger from that. So we did that. We get all together again, our community. We have the most beautiful community at school. It's so helpful. It's a family. We call it Isla family because we're really there for each other every day. And then pandemic hit us after just 1.5 years, and it was a big obstacle because Montessori education is really a hands-on education. Mm-hmm. And then how you can do something hands-on via internet. So it was pretty challenging, but we was one of the first school who reopened. We reopened in August 2020. We reorganized space the way when students can be face-to-face in class. So it was pretty challenging, but we did it. And since then, we go in further and further. We're trying to grow. We're trying to really take those moments as a learning experience and get us stronger and get us further. So this is briefly about us.
That's great. Just so many challenges, but I believe that you only get the challenges that you're able to overcome, and you guys were able to do it, and you're still here. If you can get through that at the beginning of your organization, you can get through anything. I can't imagine there's anything else that you can't.
I know, absolutely. One of my favorite books is Alchemic, and it said, the universe give you obstacles to check if it's something you truly want and you're truly passionate about. And I think we prove universe this is something we're really passionate about, and now we're ready to meet success.
Wow, that's great. I loved the Montessori for our kids because, like you said, the hands-on nature of it. I also loved it because it wasn't a daycare for the littlest kids. Mm-hmm. You start learning right away. Our kids were potty trained by like 2 years old. Mm-hmm. Like, yes, that's great, fantastic. Also, the kitchen stuff and all that. Oh, I just loved it. I think it gave our kids a great foundation at the beginning. Plus, it's it's not a bunch of crying kids all over the place and all like the daycare kind of stuff for working parents. It's a spot where your kids really start to lay the foundation for who they're going to become and being responsible and being and being. The word that just came to mind, I'm like, that's not the right word. But just being well developed right away and getting the good building blocks right from the start. I loved the program. I thought it was great. And when my wife ended up transferring to another school that had a younger kid program, that's why our kids moved over there. Otherwise, I think they probably would have stayed over there because it was such a great program.
You're absolutely right. The class, and Miss Diana will speak more about her class. She teach class 3 to 6, but that is a key component also for Montessori education: trust and respect to child. You really see them not as babies who are not capable. They capable, and we just need to give them tools to organize environment the way when they capable to do more. And it's absolutely beauty, same as you are. When I came for my first observation, when my older, who's now 21, was just 4 years old, I came in class. The class has 30 students, 3 to 6 years old, and it was a beautiful silence. It was such a working atmosphere. They all did their own projects. They all carried their small trays with the work. As soon as they finished, they put it all together and put it back on shelf. And I thought, oh my goodness, it's like a miracle. You are in a class of 30 students, 3 to 6, and it's just beautiful silence. It's working silence. It's not like somebody make them be quiet. No, this is just such a working environment, and then teacher have a lesson with few of them in a corner, and it's quiet and nobody disturb each other, everybody helping each other, and you think, oh my goodness, that's really working. This is really something that miraculously working, but it's not miracle. As soon as we see them, as soon as we trust them, and as soon as we help them to be who they capable to be, they surprise us a lot. So, and Miss Diana can tell more about how that environment working and why, and yeah.
Please.
Well, I want to say I appreciate both of your enthusiasm and your continued support to Montessori. As the two of you went through traditional schooling, so did I, and I came upon it a little bit later in life, and I knew that it spoke to every core within my being. And so I undertook the training, and you've already discussed a lot, both of you. So independence and confidence building begins very early, from infancy basically, to the point where there are people who during infancy don't have cribs. They have mattresses or soft bedding on the floor, everything within reach of the child. And you know, you adapt to your child, and you eloquently said it. And there's Ivor Lovas, who was also one of an early influencer in education, says, if a child cannot learn the way that we teach, then we must learn how to teach the child. That is what we do every day with Montessori. It's the underpinning. Montessori herself coined the term follow the child, and that's important, and that's how those strong foundations are built that last throughout the lifetime, and they're not just concepts that are remembered for the purpose of a test and then forgotten, because I don't know about you all, but when I studied, unless I had an awesome teacher that helped me remember things, as soon as those tests were over, most of the information was lost afterwards for me. And so, you know, in following that child and not expecting every child to be exactly at the same place, because we all get there a little bit differently. Montessori recognized you have visual learners, auditory learners, you have hands-on learners, and every combination thereof. And the system is set up to honor each child's learning, the way that they learn best, and to support that. And you can stretch it and see if they can go beyond those things. And if they can't, then you pull back and you get back to where they are to build them up for success. Oftentimes it means changing your plans multiple times throughout the day, sometimes on the fly. And ever since I have gotten into this, I'm entering my 15th year. I always say and always believe that it's actually the children who are teaching me. I am there to facilitate things. I am not a know-it-all. I love it when a child says, "Oh, Miss Diana, what about da-da-da-da-da-da-da?" You know, and I had 2 boys fairly early in my career who had a love of frogs. And it started off with the parts of the frog puzzle. And we named the parts of the frog. We went into the life cycle of the frog. And this is just, you know, a common frog. What about the rainforest frogs? The poisonous, the poison red, green frog, which is one of the poisonous, sorry, it's been years ago. And so I said, boys, I don't know, but let's talk about this. And these guys were 5 years old. I said, we can go upstairs to elementary and see if they have any books on what you're interested in. And they did. And then I reached out to their families as well, and I said, hey, your boys are interested in this. What if you guys go to the library, check out some resources? We can bring them into the classroom, and I can adapt that information for them based on their interests. Weeks went by, and these little 5-year-olds were learning so much about the rainforest poison frogs and all of the variations of them. And so every day is different. Every moment you have to be able to kind of flip switches. And when you're talking, I mean, even with 5 children, that's a lot, right? But when you're talking in the 20s in a classroom, that can become a lot. One of the other main components is peer mentoring. So we have mixed age groups that span approximately 3 years. And sometimes it's a little bit more, maybe by half a year.